Hello, I'm Ify. I thought since Valentine's Day is around the corner, I thought I would take myself on a date. It's currently 8:40 in the morning. I just finished working out and I'm gonna go take a shower because I feel disgusting and I smell disgusting, and you don't want to be either of those things when you're going on a date. So I'm gonna go take a shower. I have made a mess of the floor and all of this, trying to figure out what to wear.
Carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight. I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us. If we just hold on tight, this vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore.
We are now in the car. I'm getting ready to leave the house. But before I started driving, I wanted to talk about my dating and romance experience, or lack thereof. In my 19 years of life, I have only ever been on maybe 2 dates, like romantic dates, and one of which was prom, and I've basically been single my whole life besides maybe that like 2 months in junior year of high school. But other than that, I've been single basically my whole life. So needless to say, I lack so much experience in that department, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not having a lot of romantic experiences in high school, or in general for that matter. I feel like I've always had crushes though. From grades 3 to 11, there wasn't a point in between either of those times where I didn't like somebody. And I can't even say that that's fully true, because I think maybe in 12th grade I may have liked somebody for like a month or 2. I've just had a lot of crushes in my life, and 99% of the time those feelings were not reciprocated, and that really messed with my self-confidence and ability to believe that I could be loved and my ability to love myself, because I would always be questioning myself and constantly blaming myself in these types of situations for their lack of romantic interest in me. I would always ask myself, like, what's so bad about me that this person doesn't like me? Am I not likable? Am I not lovable? Like, what's wrong with me, basically? I grew up hating myself for so many reasons. One of the reasons being this: I was always attributing it to something like I was like too ugly or too annoying. But then that like slowly transmuted itself into me believing that as a human being, I was like not worth energy, taking up a bunch of space, not worthy of existing. I don't necessarily feel like that anymore. I've done a bit of growing and a bit of healing, as cheesy as that sounds. I used to put so much pressure on these romantic relationships, when essentially romance is a social construct, as a lot of things are, and these romantic relationships, in my opinion, are just really glorified friendships. And I will talk more on that later, but for now, I'm gonna go to Target, which is like 20 minutes away, and pick myself up some flowers. Maybe an album, because I've been looking for this David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust album, and I can't find it. Just saw 4 for 4 on the clock. Yeah, so let's go. There are people really awkward. Like, the pandemic is still definitely there.
You to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find.
They don't have any albums that I want. If I couldn't get the freaking Stardust. did not have like apples, so this was a fail. I mean, I came here to get flowers, but the album, so it was a fail.
Do you feel that we got something strong?
Okay, the closest thing that they had in that store to roses was this. And so it has like 3 roses in there. So I was just gonna have to settle with what I got. But it's still like a beautiful bouquet. And it's flowers, so why not? I also got myself some Boom Chicka Pop. I've never tried this brand of pre-popped popcorn. I've only tried Skinny Pop. And the reason why I got myself this instead of getting myself chocolates is because I don't like chocolate. I'm not a chocolate fan. So I got myself something I knew I'd actually eat. And then I also got myself some apple juice. It was a lot busier in there than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's 1:25, so like it's kind of lunch rush hour for people who actually have 9-to-5 jobs. I'm gonna go to Qdoba now, which is not far, and get myself some food.
Walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you, I feel.
Guys, it's my lucky day. Their card reader stopped working. It froze right as I was getting ready to pay, so they just gave me a free drink and a free meal. I'm parked basically in front of Target again, and I'm parked where people can most definitely see me talking to myself, but we're not worrying about that. Oh no, my freaking thing opened. I'm gonna eat. I'm going to go to a park that I've meaning to go to for a very long time and just sit there and relax and read while I'm there. And that'll probably be the end of my little date with myself. So I'm gonna head to that park now.
Hear the birds and see the sun.
I have made it to some sort of park. The original park that I was gonna go to, you have to have a parking permit in order to be there, and if you're not a resident of the area, the parking permit costs $100, and that's just not gonna happen. So I'm now back in my community, so I'm just gonna find an open area to sit where nobody is, and I'm going to just sit there until
With you and I, the future is bright.
The ground is definitely a little wet, but that's fine. This is so nice. This is like, the water's right there. There are people, and I'm filming myself. Now that I'm at the park at my last location, oh, 3:33 on the clock. I wanted to continue my monologue on love and romance and all that jazz. I wrote all this down on my phone so I wouldn't really forget anything important that I wanted to say. My friend Lucy and I were having a conversation maybe a week or two ago about love and romance. The conversation started because I had asked her how frequently does she think about romantic relationships and necessarily her being in one. We were talking about romance being a social construct. She reintroduced that idea to me and how we prioritize these romantic relationships over our platonic ones, sometimes our familiar ones. We are constantly being fed through media, through family, through friends, through a lot of things, that there's something wrong with being single and not being romantically involved with anybody. You're not living your life if you are single. You're missing out on love if you're single. You haven't experienced real love if you're single. And I think that idea that you don't experience true love if you're not in a romantic relationship is total BS. Like, that is not true at all. I can only speak for myself here, but because of this projection of romance and this idea of romance that we have as a society, that I necessarily have, I've over-romanticized romance and love. I used to have this really false idea of, oh, I can't wait to love this imaginary person and do romantic things with them, and I can't wait to experience real love. Lucy had mentioned this in the conversation about how she was going to start intentionally being more romantic with her friends and family and just people that she loves in general. And we had realized that we were both waiting to apply all the knowledge that we have and all the things that we want to do about love on this non-existent person that's not in our life right now. Whenever I used to think of love languages, I would always think exclusively in the sense of a romantic interest. Like, how would I like to be loved romantically, and how would I like to give love romantically? And I was completely disregarding the fact that there are people, there are things in my life currently that I can love fully romantically. I can take my family on dates. I can surprise my friends with gifts. I can write the earth a love letter. I can do whatever I want. I can normalize platonic romance and familial romance in any sense of the matter. I can destigmatize it for myself. Romance does not have to be exclusive to a significant other. There doesn't just have to be one significant other. You have many significant people in your life. Love is not limited to anyone or anything unless you decide to limit it yourself. Romance is not limited to anyone or anything unless you decide to limit it yourself. There is an abundance of love available to us at all times. If this is the case, if love is abundant always, why would you limit love for yourself? Why wait for permission to love? And then I got to thinking about how possibly extending this idea of like loving everybody fully and being romantic to the people in my life that I currently have, how that could take away from the uniqueness and power of love. It could become a cliche in a sense. Cliches are cliches because more often than not, they hold some weight of truth to them. Even as I hold all of this love for everybody, all of this romantic love for everybody, love will never lose its power because love itself is a powerful force. And just as you love each song that you listen to differently, just as I love spicy food and sugar cookies differently, I can love the people in my life differently. The love will never lose its uniqueness when you extend full love and full romance to anybody that you desire to do that to. Love is definitely one of those to each his own concepts. I understand that I'm speaking on my behalf and my behalf only, and I'm also open to understanding that maybe the way that I think about this is irrational or wrong. I'm going to just sit here and relax. Like, it's so nice. It's a beautiful day. I'm very grateful that I get to sit out here in this open field and not worry about getting a fine. I'm probably going to read a little bit. I'm probably going to journal a little bit, meditate. I didn't do either of those things this morning. I'm going to eat my popcorn and just enjoy my date with myself. So.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets.
So I'm gonna leave now because my hands are freezing and I have to go pee really bad. I'm gonna go back home, and luckily home is only like max 5 minutes away. So I'm gonna go, because I have to go pee so bad.
Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are fine.
I am back in the car now, and now I'm just gonna drive home, listen to some music,